Hello my friends, Dowellzrul here, and welcome back to another deck profile, and today we have Triamids. So, Triamids are a lesser known archetype that I'm having a lot of fun playing, and they actually have some pretty neat interactions with each other, and they basically revolve around field spells and trading out their field spells and stuff like that. So, I don't want to ramble too long into this intro, because I gotta get to explaining the cards and what they do. So, let's get into this with the first Triamid card, Triamid Hunter. So, Hunter is probably the best Triamid in the entire archetype. So, what it does is, so all the Triamids, if focus. Okay, so, there we go. What it does is, all the Triamids say, during your opponent's turn, you could target one Triamid field spell card in your field zone, send it to the grave, and if you do, activate one Triamid field spell card from your deck with a different name. This is a quick effect. So, all of the Triamid field spells have an effect when they hit the graveyard. So, that trading out during your opponent's turn, every single one of them can do that. So if you have multiple guys out, then they can go ahead and all trade them out. And this is really useful because one of them searches a monster, one of them special summons from your deck. One special summons from your hand, and then one special summons from your graveyard. So the field spells are actually pretty good, and their actual on-field effects are pretty mediocre. Overall, this is the best card of the archetype because of its first effect. If a field spell card is face up on the field, you can double summon one rock monster in addition to your normal summoner set. So, it is a Geminite Seraphonite for the entire archetype, basically, which is really, really good. And that's the best one that they've got. So, it's all downhill from here. And next, we have the Triamid Dancer. In Triamid Dancer, what it does is you can target, once per turn, target a Triamid card in your graveyard, shuffle it back, and all rock monsters gain 500 attack and defense. Okay, that's fine. I mean, it's level 3, and it gets the field spell effect. The attack buff isn't that important at all. Though it is probably, this next one is just super bad. I only use it for field spell stuff. So, Triamid Master. What it does is once per turn, you can send a face-up Triamid card you control to the graveyard. Okay, good start. Then, target one set card on the field and destroy it. It was almost super good. If it said one card on the field or one face-up card on the field, I would have been fine. But it says set card. So that makes this the worst Triamid card of all of them. And that is not really saying much, seeing as the best is a double summon for the archetype. So, next is their boss monster, Triamid Sphinx. So, can't be normal summoned or set except with the effect of, and must be special summoned with the effect of a Triamid card, and cannot be special summoned in other ways. And if a face-up Triamid card you control except Sphinx is destroyed by battle or card effect, you use special summon Sphinx from your hand. And then, while you control another Triamid card, this card gains 500 attack defense for each field spell card with a different name in your graveyard. Also, all monsters your opponent controls cannot attack except for Triamid Sphinx. So, that's nice. Pretty much, so it's got battle protection for all your monsters, and it can get pretty big. If you have one copy of each of your field spells in grave, it's up to 4k attack. And it doesn't say it has to be a Triamid field spell. It could say any field spell. So if you're running Pseudo Space in the deck, or Magnetic Field, which is the Magnet Warrior field spell, then this is actually really good effect, because it can get himself up to 5,000 attack. The problem lies is it only protects them by only being able to attack Sphinx. If you have multiple Sphinxes out, that's fine. They can only attack Sphinx anyway. It's not that they're stopping them from attacking. It's that it doesn't protect them from anything else. And the field spells do that. Now, that wouldn't be a problem if there wasn't so much spell and trap destruction. So, that's enough of me rambling about the archetype. Let's get into the rest of the deck. So, I'm running 3 Block Dragon for protection, because Block Dragon. I'm running 3 Dino Wrestler Pankratops. This can help with the summoning condition of the Block Dragon, and it is just a really good card all around. I'm running 3 Doki Doki, because Doki Doki is ridiculously good in this deck. one Barrier Statue of the Drought, and one Sentry Soldier Stone. Now, Barrier Statue of the Drought is a Doki Doki target, basically. You discard the Master for the Barrier Statue, and it essentially makes it so your opponent is now playing at the same speed that you are. It's trying to, this card is in here just to try to slow the opponent down, so they're playing at the same speed as you are. Because this deck is also very normal summon reliant, as the last video I put up, which is the Magician Girls. And, Sentry Soldier is just a great rock-type monster to have in any rock deck. Alright. Now for the spell cards. And the first field spell we have is Triamid Cruiser. So Cruiser says when a rock-type monster is normal summon, you gain 500 life points. Okay. And if a Triamid monster is normal summon, you can draw one card, then discard one card. Okay, that is actually really good. So it not only lets you gain 500 every time a rock-type monster is normal summon, but if that rock monster was a Triamid monster, on top of the 500 life points, you also get a draw. Sure, you have to discard a card, but this deck likes cards in the graveyard, as you'll see with a card later in the list. And then, Cruiser's effect, when it hits the graveyard, is you can add one Triamid monster from your deck to your hand. So, Cruiser searches your deck for a Triamid monster when it's sent to the graveyard, which is really nice. But it has to be sent from the field zone to the graveyard. So you can't use, like, Foolish Burial Goods to send to the grave. Next, our next field spell is Triamid King Golem. So, it gives all rock monsters on the field 500 attack, and if a Triamid monster you control battles an opponent's monster, it gains effect. Your opponent cards and effects cannot activate until the end of the damage step. Alright, so that's okay. Got battle protection, which is okay for a battlefield spell. That's fine. This will be more for your turn, and when it's sent to the grave, you can special summon a Triamid from your hand. So, this is pretty good. And then, 3. Oh, I thought I had 3 of this. I guess I'm only running 2. Yeah, okay. So, 2 Triamid Fortress. And I'm running 2 Triamid Fortress because it gives all rock monsters on the field 500 defense, and Triamid monsters on the field cannot be destroyed by card effects. Okay, that's fine. Protects from card effects. Now, the reason I'm only running it at 2 is because it can only special summon from grave. When it's sent from the field to the grave, it can only special summon from grave. I mean, I get why they did that, but it doesn't make this card any better. So, I'm only running it at 2. Next, 2 Terraforming. Just 2 Terraforming. Monster Reborn, Soul Charge, and Foolish Burial. Burial can be for anything from one of your Triamid cards to a Block Dragon. I mean, there's just so many targets with Burial, and this deck likes to manipulate the graveyard a lot, so... Next, I'm running 3 Metaverse, just for field spell searching, because there's so many in the deck. And then, Triamid Pulse. Once per turn, so this is a continuous trap that says once per turn, you can banish 2 cards from your graveyard. Any combination of rock monsters and field spell cards, then activate one of these effects. The first effect says target one other face-up card on the field and destroy it. Okay, that's fine, it's what Master should have been. The second effect says target one rock-type monster in the graveyard, special summon it in defense. Okay, that's also pretty good. You could special summon back your double summon, or your Sphinx, if you really wanted to. And the third effect says target up to 3 field spell cards in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, then draw 1 card. That last effect is, I usually either use the first or the last effect most. I rarely ever special summon from the graveyard because I have a field spell that can do that, and I can trade it out on demand. So, this is okay. It's not really tying the archetype together or anything, but it helps with some of the faults that the archetype has, like with Master not being able to pop face-up cards. Alright, so that is it for the main deck. Now for the extra. I'm running 2 Grugonic Guardian. Guardian is just a decent, and it's not decent, it's absolutely amazing. Yeah, you can detach as a quick effect to negate stuff. It's just a great rank 3 for the rock types. Next, I'm running 2 copies of Dante. Dante can loop each other when they're sent to the grave, and this deck likes cards in the graveyard, so if I ever need to send some cards to grave, I could just, oh, don't hit the camera. I could just execute summon into the Dante and go ahead and, yeah, do Dante things. Levier the Steam Dragon, since I'm banishing so many cards with Block Dragon and my trap card, just play a Levier or 2 to get those cards back. Break Sword's just a decent rank 3 option. Bagooska is rank 4, so your master is not completely useless. Underclock Taker is Underclock Taker. Reproducius is for Summon Sork, because this deck can actually do Summon Sork plays, along with the Magnet Warrior deck. Missus Radiant, because everything's Earth. Summon Sork, because Summon Sork plays are absolutely amazing in this deck. And then Borrelguard Dragon, because Borrelguard Dragon. I mean, you could put other rank 4s in here. This is the only one I had to spare, so just Borrelguard Dragon. It's actually not terrible in this deck, because its effect to pop card in the Spell and Trap zone to send one card from your Spell and Trap card zone to the grave. You usually do have stuff, whether it be you could set a spell card or you have your Triamid Pulse. So, and then your Dancer can recycle the Pulse. So, well, that was the Triamid deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it gave you a little insight into Triamids, and it's actually kind of surprising what this deck can do on with a good hand, and depending on what matchup you're going up against, this is obviously a casual deck, but depending on the matchup, this can really snowball out of control. Because if you let, it's not exactly a grindy deck, but it is a slow deck, and I tried to add the statue in there for like more control over the game, but this deck, if it can snowball out of control, and it is crazy how resilient it can be once it gets to that point. So, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that wonderful YouTube stuff. Let me know what you thought of the deck, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.